Welcome, welcome. Today in the Keep On Testing Spotlight, something truly divine. No. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, it's the same colors, I guess, but it's not the same company. No, the GEARWRENCH GWDM015. Today, the Keep On Testing Spotlight. GEARWRENCH. GEARWRENCH really caught my eye on Amazon. Check it out. Doesn't that look familiar? You don't see too many meters these days with this yellow boot. But here is one of them. GWDM015. Take a look at the actual picture on the box. A little more orangey going on there, isn't it? But actually that boot definitely has a nice yellow tinge to it. That's okay. By the way, this meter ships with a 2-year limited warranty, something you don't often see in this price range. Now, is it any good? Well, we're going to soon find out, right? Technician's digital multimeter. Look at that, even comes in a really nice logo emblazoned pouch, which is always a bonus. And in the pouch, well, the meter was originally wrapped in some plastic going on here. But check it out. Test leads, 9-volt battery, and one of these doohickeys for, checking capacitance and stuff. We'll take a look at that shortly. Finally comes with the GEARWRENCH Technician's Digital Multimeter Manual. Quite a thick little booklet, I gotta say. They put some time and effort into this, which is nice. DC voltage, AC, DC current, resistance, AC voltage. Look at that meter. Classic multimeter style going on here. Pretty thick as well, pretty thick. And we've got those test lead holders in the back. Take a look at that tilt stand. Not bad. It's not flopping around like some of the meters. And that being said, it's got some pretty good stability here. Nice. Overall impressions, this is a classic multimeter style multimeter. We see a lot of these quite unusual looking devices lately, but classic style, good looking, and pretty dang thick as well. I have to put that battery in. Didn't ship with the battery installed. That's a-okay. And look at that. We have a nice brass threaded insert as well. So a little attention to detail like that goes a long, long way. All right, let's put that cover back on and turn this baby on. And there we are. Bada boom, bada bing. Quick to boot up. Classic liquid crystal digital display. Not too shabby. Now we've got that little protective cover. Let's just take that off. Groovy. All right, there we go. I'm always curious to know what the backlight looks like right from the get-go. Let's hit that backlight and subdued, but it's on. Oh my gosh, what just happened? The battery is dead already. The battery is dead. They sent us a multimeter with a dead battery. Why do they do that? Look at that. So our battery indicator is on, unfortunately. So the battery that we have with this by default is toast. Turn on that backlight and the darn thing dies. Oh, GEARWRENCH. Not a good start. Okay, quick look at DC voltage accuracy right now with that precision reference outputting 5.00 volts. Well, that's what this is going to read resolution-wise. Coming in at 5.02 volts, which is actually impressive. We're looking at an error of probably about, 20 millivolts? 0.4% or so? So that is well within that 0.8% plus or minus 5 count specification. Definitely this meter seems to be hanging on to its spec, actually doing better than spec. Right now we have it plugged into that Hewlett-Packard power supply. Oldie but a goodie, 7.66 volts coming up. Hey, not too shabby. I'm going to bring it down to 6.10 volts. And 6.10. Taking it down again to 2.71 volts, coming in at 2.72. So all in all, accuracy-wise, with basic DC voltage, without getting into something crazy, it'll do just fine. AC mode, True RMS, and check it out. Coming up on DMM Check Plus at 5.00 volts. True RMS. Remember, this calibrator is outputting 4.999 volts AC True RMS. And here with the gear wrench, we're getting 5.00 volts AC. That difference is really 0.001 of a volt, 1 millivolt. Wow, that's outstanding. Basically a 0.02% error on a multimeter that's specified at 1.2% plus or minus 5 counts. This is around 60 times better. 60 times better than its published spec. Wow. So, man, I gotta say, very accurate indeed, especially at this 5 volt AC rating. And, I gotta say, I wasn't expecting that. Take a look at those displays. Definitely say not as good on the gear wrench compared to both the ZIBOO and the Klein. Yeah, just that extra 2,000 count, so 6,000 count display for both the Klein and the ZIBOO, 4,000 for the gear wrench. And you can see it makes a difference. Higher resolution, obviously, just gives a little bit more. And also that display itself is a little bit smaller than either of these. So, you know, I guess it is what it is. Also on the gear wrench, I mean, it's your basic multimeter, right? You got your volts, your resistance, continuity, diode, yada, 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 current, non-contact voltage, frequency, duty cycle. That's great. Awesome. But you don't have anything extra. You don't have low Z. You don't have temperature. All those little extras that really add up, especially at this price point. You do get those on the ZIBOO and the Klein. You get the low Z as well on the Klein. Temperature, the clamp feature, functionality add-on, 1,500 volts plus on the ZIBOO. So, you know, both of these meters offer more than the gear wrench. Now, I haven't looked inside the gear wrench yet, but we all know that that input protection on the ZIBOO, seen the video, check out my video. It's outstanding, stellar input protection. Anyway, at a glance, I think bang for buck wise, probably getting a little bit more bang on these guys. For whatever reason, they've decided to put this warning label right at the top of the test lead, so it's always in the way in your hand and it's glued in there, so nuts. All right, here we go with cool wire round resistor. This is 5% tolerance, 1 ohm, and I'm going to compare the gear wrench against the Fluke, just for the fun of it. Alrighty, I have railed out the leads. These are the default test leads that come with the gear wrench, and they had 0.1 of an ohm resistance. I railed that out down to 0. 1 ohm resistor. Here we go. Oh, it's really hard. We really got to hold down. Hang on a second. Let me just get a better grip on this. Alrighty. It's about 1.2, 1.1 ohm according to the Fluke, which makes sense. So I'm going to do the same thing now with the gear wrench. Put the test leads in. By the way, one thing I don't like about this, for the input, it is not in our universal color-coded red. It just says input in white and the common in yellow as opposed to the black. So, that's a fail. I'm going to do the same thing with the test leads on the gear wrench. And funny enough, look at that. We don't even have to rail them out. So right from the factory, we have 0 resistance on those test leads. Weird. Okay, here we go. Wire round resistor. 1 ohm. And let's see how well this compares to the Fluke. Wow, look at that. About 1.2 ohm. It settled on, went down to 1. So all in all, with that low resistance, I think it did really well in comparison to this big 87.5. Good job, gear wrench. And just for the heck of it here, I measured that 1 ohm resistor on the Sanwa LCR meter coming up as 1.003 of an ohm. So indeed it is a 1 ohm. So the gear wrench may automatically subtract a small offset. You know, there are some budget DMMs that do compensate for that small amount of lead contact with resistance. But because it has a rel feature, I don't think that's the case here. The thing is, because the display resolution on the gear wrench only displays 2.1 of an ohm on the 400 ohm range. True shorted lead resistance is around 0.06 to 0.09 of an ohm. It'll round out to about 0.0. The Fluke, on the other hand, has a higher low ohms accuracy and may show 0.1 of an ohm, which is why using rel makes sense. So yeah, it's just one of those things, eh? The weird, wonderful world of testing. Interesting. Okay, next up is continuity. How loud is this multimeter? Well, let's find out. Starting off with the stock default test probes. We've got our decibel meter here at the ready. By the way, I've been using the same decibel meter for years and years. I've got quite a few of these, so, you know, keeps that consistent testing across the spectrum. Okay, starting off with default test leads. 3, 2, 1. Not bad. We don't have any visual indicator, unfortunately. It's okay. Pearl Masters. Seems a little quicker to latch. Well, let's measure how loud. .6 decibels, maximum output volume in continuity. Not bad. One thing that really irks me about this meter is the fact that we have no test lead notification. So right now we're in current, for instance, but there was nothing telling me on the display that I have my test leads in the wrong input. So that sucks, because a lot of meters in this price range do give you that sort of heads up, which is always nice. Anyway, is what it is. Okay, right now we are in low current amps with our precision current reference here. 100 milliamps coming up on the Klein tools. And let's see how we're going to fare with the gear wrench. And, oh, 100 spot on with the gear wrench, low current. Oh, looking good, looking good. And just so you know, that regular input for volts is also the same as the input for our milliamps. So same input, high current input over here for the 20 amp. We're going to test that out right now. Again, this is a rating of 20 amps on the high current, as you can see, and we're going to test that out. Here we go. We are in high current amps, DC. Turn on our power supply. And let's get shaken and baking, shall we? Pushing 9.7 amps, spot on with the gear wrench. 9.7 it is. Bring it up. Sitting at 16.52 amps, coming in at 16.50. Good stuff. And we're going to max it now. Let's see if we have a high current alarm. And we do. High current alarm over our 20 amp threshold. Let's bring it back down. 11 amps, 11.5 amps. We're sitting here at 11.5 amps. I'm going to take out the thermal cam. I already have the FOTRIC thermal camera out right now. And look at how toasty those test leads are. They are toasty. Oh, yeah. Smoking. I'm going to bring it up one more time to 20 amps. I got to be crazy. 21 amps right now. Oh, my God. It's surviving. And, yeah, we're going to stop right there. But, whoa. Wow. Hey, I haven't pointed it out just yet, but it does come with that ETL Intertech logo. So this does have some good safety standards behind it. At least it should. We'll know for a second when we pop it open, but hey, that ETL rating, Intertech, that is definitely a good thing. Alrighty, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws to get to the inside. Alrighty, here we are down on the inside. Oh yeah, teardown time, loving it. Look at, what do you see first, right? Same thing I do, those big high rupture capacity HRC fuses. We have both a 500 milliamp fuse, and this is marked as 1000 volt as well, and this is going to protect us from microamps, milliamp, and resistance ranges. And on the high current side, we have another big HRC fuse, 1000 volt AC, has a, is that a 50 kiloamp AC interrupt rating? Hey, this is a good fuse. Industrial grade, HRC, none of this glass crap, definitely higher end. Plus we have some protection diodes, D2 to D5, near the input jacks, and this is going to be sort of like your front end protection network. Clamp over voltage, protecting the meter IC, and accidental overloads, that kind of thing. That's where these guys come in handy. Always a good sign. Pretty good creepage and clearance as well. The input traces are nice and wide, and they're pretty short, and they're well separated, so this all makes a big difference in the input scheme of things. Something else that's really cool, look at those input jacks. Man, check it out. Look at that. They're screwed in. Nice big blobs of solder over here, but nice solid attention to detail here. Stop beeping at me, meter. Yes, I'm taking you apart. But overall, that is very nice. And flipping it over, and look at that, look at that. Looky, looky. We have a couple of mobs, a couple of PTCs. So the mobs, these are our surge suppression ceramics. Great for over voltage clamping. And the two green discs over here, these are our PTCs, and this helps when the meter gets hit with a fault on input. So input path is still fairly short and wide, and all in all, I like what I see. Current shunt maybe a tad anemic looking, but still, hey, I've seen a lot worse. And look at those solder joints, really nicely done. Good job overall with the soldering. And that rotary switch PCB layout, man, it's clean, 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 and way better to get than in a lot of cheapos. Overall, I think this is pretty decent input protection. It's not the greatest out there, but it's certainly not junk. Definitely good enough for general electrical and electronics work. Not in the same safety league as those premium cat-rated meters, but hey, for $100, I think we're doing okay. Alright, gonna put it back together. Come back with my closing thoughts. Closing thoughts on GEARWRENCH GWDM015. Boy, do I hate that name. Hey, it is not a bad multimeter. It's somewhere in between. It's got a pretty high price point, about 120 bucks Canadian, around $100 or so US. And for bang for buck, you're competing with the likes of the Klein tools and even the slightly cheaper ZIBOO 17B Pro, which just do offer a lot more bang for your proverbial buck. And at the end of the day, it's all about the bang. It's tough, it's solid. This thing feels like $1 million. Honestly, it is built like a tank. That being said, is that going to be enough to sway you to buy this over some of the other big names? Does not have a lot in terms of fluff. It's your basic hard-working multimeter that, you know what, it's not a bad thing. And if you're an automotive tech and you don't need a lot of bells and whistles, this is certainly something I think that's worth looking at. That being said, though, it's missing some of the basic stuff like temperature, which I think is a really sad thing, because temperature at least would have put this one up a notch. That input protection was stellar, and hey, that is always a bonus. It's a pretty decent multimeter, which does offer some decent bang for buck, and it is built like a tank, and you do get a pretty nice carry case as well. The GEARWRENCH GWDM015 gets a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars. Hey, not a bad multimeter, not the best out there, but if I had this in my toolbox, I'd probably be a happy guy. Thanks for watching this review, everybody. Till the next one, keep on testing.